This is the ship that the White House says brought down an Iranian drone. The USS Boxer, an assault ship sent to the Persian Gulf just over a month ago. U.S. President Donald Trump said a drone had come within 1,000 yards of the USS Boxer and ignored calls to stand down.
Thank you very much. This is the latest of many provocative and hostile actions by Iran against vessels operating in international waters. The United States reserves the right to defend our personnel, our facilities, and interests, and calls upon all nations to condemn Iran's attempts to disrupt freedom of navigation and global commerce.
Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif, who was in New York for UN meetings, said he could not confirm the possible downing of a drone.
We have no information about using a drone.
Mr.
Foreign Minister, if it was shot down, what do you say?
That's what I said. We have no information about having lost a drone today.
Have you met Senator Paul? Have you met Senator Paul?
This is the latest scrape between the two countries over who is provoking whom in the Strait of Hormuz. On June 20th, Iran shot down a U.S. drone it said had violated its airspace. Just days ago, the Iranian military seized a foreign tanker in this strategic strait, saying the ship was smuggling oil. They released this footage allegedly showing the incident. The United Nations has urged restraint on all sides to avoid an open conflict.
Let's speak to Adnan Tabatabai. He's a Middle East analyst based in Germany, and he joins us from Dusseldorf. Adnan, good morning. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. What do we know about what actually happened here? Do we only have Donald Trump's account?
So far, it seems yes. We heard the Foreign Minister Javad Zarif speaking yesterday denying this, and this morning the Deputy Foreign Minister Abbas Arabchi has also tweeted that Iran hasn't lost any drone, and he was basically also mocking the U.S. president by saying maybe the U.S. has downed its own drone. So far, it's basically the U.S. claim and the Iranian denial.
And yet we're seeing another escalation between the U.S. and Iran. How serious is this?
I think the situation is extremely dangerous. We see both sides trying to get the other to a point where a face-saving exit is needed. The U.S. is adopting its maximum pressure strategy, Iran its maximum resistance strategy. Both are trying to raise the costs for the other side, and it's dangerous to see where this will lead us.
So you're saying this is a dangerous situation, but at the same time, we saw the Iranian foreign minister in New York propose new talks, some possible concessions. So where are things headed?
I think this is part of the pattern that we see on both sides. So we see upping the pressure in different forms, while at the same time providing some, if you want to say, avenues for backdoor talks or some sorts of an agreement. And as I said, the face-saving aspect of diplomacy might play a big role here, so that either side presents the other with such an exit. The U.S. has said we just don't want to see the Iranians becoming a nuclear power. This is something that the Iranians don't have a problem with, and I think this is also what Javad Zarif has now proposed, something that would further make the deal further robust. So let's see where this will go. But at the same time, we have to be worried because these measures that are meant to scare off the other side, I'm afraid, will continue.
Adnan, at this point, what would it take to get both sides back to the table and to stop this escalating tension?
At the moment, it seems that the Iranians want to see a U.S. position, which is the one that was existent during the Obama years. So no U.S. sanctions that have to do with Iran's nuclear program. Other sanctions can remain. For the U.S. side, it seems that there are divisions between the president and his foreign secretary and his national security advisor. So the U.S. position might be a bit ambiguous here. But for Donald Trump, it seems as long as it would be his deal, there might actually be a deal. So let's see where this will lead us. But I think the international community should ask both sides to really come to their senses at this point.
All right. Middle East analyst Adnan Tabatabai, thank you so much for your analysis.
My pleasure.